All right, Vegas in the Xfinity car. I'm going to do my normal intermediate settings for this, but feel free to do whatever you want. Brake bias will matter a little bit for long run. You're not going to use enough of it for it to feel like a huge difference unless you're like above like 70, I guess. In fact, I don't even know sometimes why I don't go under 57. I think it's usually just because like if I end up having to stab the brakes at 50% in the middle of the corner for some reason, I don't want to be like instantly spun out. You can make this first or second lap. Let's just run 2 laps here up to speed. You want to pretty much full throttle this high line for your get up to speed lap. Don't have to go to the bottom here. You lose a little bit of time there, but then you gain it all back here. Gonna arc it, keep it in the middle. Just hold the off throttle for a little bit. Try to get back full throttle early. On that first lap, it'll get a little bit loose there. Second lap is definitely easier to run hot, so I'm gonna go for a second now. Ideally, you just run 2 good laps, because this run up top isn't that much better than the run that you get like in the middle, which is where we're gonna be running. So get the car point early, off throttle, a lot more grip here. And then again, wide entry, middle, bring on that full throttle early, get the car rotating a little bit to stay off this wall. Now we go down to the apron.
That was your fastest lap of the session.
Alright. Not a bad lap. Definitely can get like a 10th there, I think, with some more aggressive on throttle points. I'm not as comfortable with the Xfinity car and driving it right on the edge as some of the other cars. Not my best car, but I can get pretty close. So, entering turn 1 here. Really want to make sure that you get your nose pointed before that big drop into the banking right here. You can kind of see, like if I do let's do the gyro cam actually. See, ow. Oh, sorry. See how the gyro from here to there, you need to have your car pointed before that. Because once you're in here, it's going to take a lot more effort to get the car down there. And you have a lot more chance of disengaging the right rear and stuff like that. So I have my car pointed pretty much to the bottom of this dark patch right here. And I bring it down to half throttle. And then I try to instantly get back up to full. Probably a little preemptive. It slid up a little bit more than I wanted to. And I probably went a little lower than I wanted to. So I probably didn't want to be out of the throttle quite that much because it got me a little bit too low. And then a little bit too much throttle on the get back to try to make up for it because it was sliding up a little bit more than I wanted it to. But it's nothing fancy, right? Before the banking begins, you point your car, you go to your minimum throttle point, and then you get immediately aggressive back in. If you slide up immediately, it means you were too aggressive getting back in. And then if you are not going down, or sorry, if you're not staying on your line, then you need to fix your timing with that. Same thing with 3 and 4. Now, because of 3 and 4, for whatever reason, I'm able to carry a lot more speed into the corner here. So instead of going down to like 20%, I stay at 50. Car just sticks to its line, and I'm able just to gradually give it throttle. Now, that turn 4 exit comes at you pretty fast compared to some of the other cookie cutter ovals. So you want to make sure that your car is rotating under throttle and you're not just sliding up too prematurely, because it'll come at you really fast from like right here to right here. So you never want to give up on the turn until it's over. But same idea, right? Let's go back to that trusty gyro cam. So you see how I turn my wheel? Look at this. So straight away, turn wheel here, but the gyro hasn't happened yet. Now the gyro has happened, and I'm pretty much at where I want to be on the steering wheel. That's how the car gets to settle. So really keep in mind where you are in the banking. Because once you get the car settled, it's as easy as just smooth throttling back to full throttle and letting the car rotate itself off the corner. Yeah, it's a little bit sketchy with how loose it is, but it's fine. And it's that's something that you can just practice. I feel like the long runs here can go multiple ways. A lot of times Vegas ends up at the top. A lot of times people can just bottom feed the whole race and do very well. With this Xfinity car, with how loose it gets, the looser a car gets, I feel like the better the bottom becomes, because you're more in control of, like, if you have perfect inputs in a loose car, you'll still be able to keep the car under you in the bottom. Whereas sometimes you just can't keep up that speed as much up top. But the track temperature's cool here. So I'm going to allow the gas even earlier when it's not my qual lap. I think that the race line is going to be this dark line that they show you, the middle line. The bottom just doesn't feel great to me. Way to save tires at Vegas is called anti-arcing. It's when you just, instead of going wide for the corner, you kind of just go shallow and you just let the car land where it lands, and then you throttle back up. It's going to be a little bit slower than a optimal line, but as long as you can kind of what's the word, make a compromise between them, then you can save some extra tires for free. So the bottom isn't too bad if you're going at a pretty leisurely pace. I think that if you're in a position where no one's really attacking you, you can do this anti-arc to the bottom and save a ton of tire down here. Kind of let the car just slide up towards the end. Like, that's a pretty darn good tire saving line. I'd maybe keep it down here a little bit longer. Yeah, I felt it there. The car started to step out on the right rear. I could have seen that coming and let out my steering input a little earlier. But yeah, if you can get to the bottom early and just keep it down there without using too much wheel, that just saves so much tire. The longer you can keep it on the white, the more tire you're saving without adding extra steering input. So really early entry, get the car parked on the bottom here. And then you see how I unloaded my steering a little bit early there because I knew I was about to get loose. That might be the play for tire saving if you are not under any pressure, is this anti-arc run. And a lot of times, you know what, I might even start doing a trail brake into the corners too to help me settle into that bottom, see if it loses me too much time. That might just lose me a little too much time there. Let's see what that compares to when I run like a wide arc lap, and I'm going to try my best here to run a good wide arc lap. Wow, I did not expect it to be that close. That's not bad. I definitely can carry more speed through 3 and 4 though. I think the anti-arc line is a lot better on turn 1 usually at tracks because you can take advantage of that wider entry to carry just a little bit more similar amounts of speed. Turn 3 and 4 you have to really slow the car down for it. Like, that's not bad. If you have the room for that and you can like aero block every other corner, like that's a surefire way to save some free tire. So yeah, Vegas anti-arc line, it works a lot in a lot of things. Like, you might think that this car is going to end up on the right rear, but from my experience, it usually just wears right front after a while. And if you're wearing right rear, that's more of an issue of throttle inputs and control and all of that. Like, you see how I'm keeping my right front on it really nice because of that anti-arc line. That's what I'm talking about. All right, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope to see you all on the track.